Hi, we are going to figure out what is the GCF and the LCM of 16 and 48 in this case. Let's go ahead and write our question down so we don't forget what we are trying to figure out. First of all, what is the greatest common factor of, in this case, 16 and 48? Okay. And we'll go back and revert back to a pictorial representation because I think it just shows better on the screen. So we start with 16 on one side, and then on the other side, we start with 48. Now I know, in this case, the answer is somewhat obvious, but I do want to show a very systematic way of finding the answer in this case. All right, what is 16? What is a prime factor of 16? Well, the easiest one is 2. It is kind of obvious that 16 is divisible by 2. And what is the other side? What is 16 divided by 2? Well, that turns out to be 8. Okay, so we make a connection here. All right. 8 itself is also a composite number. But what is 8? 8 is divisible by 2. What is 8 divided by 2? 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, so once again we draw the connectors here. What is 4? 4 is a composite number. 4 is divisible by, once again, 2. But what is 4 divided by 2? 4 divided by 2 turns out to be just 2. Right there. Okay. And 2 is no longer divisible, cannot be broken down into smaller prime numbers because 2 itself is a prime number. And on this side we have just reduced 16 to its prime factors, which turns out to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 16. 48 is a little bit longer, so we're going to move it up here. 48 is divisible by 2 for sure, because the number ends with 2, 4, 6, or 8. And 48 divided by 2 is 24. So we put 24 here, and we make nice connectors, just like this. Alright. What is 24? Can 24 be broken down into prime components? Sure, 24 is definitely divisible by 2. But what is 24 divided by 2? 24 divided by 2 is 12. Like that. And we make connectors. What is 12? 12 is a composite number. It is obviously 12 is divisible by 2. What is 12 divided by 2? 12 divided by 2 is 6. Like so. And make nice little connectors like that. What is 6? 6 is also divisible by 2. So we say that 6 has a prime factor of 2. And what is the other side? What is 6 divided by 2? 6 divided by 2 is, guess right, you guessed right, it is 3. So we put a 3 here. Okay, 6 is 2 times 3. And we are now done with 48 as well. We have broken 48 down to its prime components. 48 equals to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So our next task is to find out what prime factors are common between 16 and 48. Okay, 2 matches up with 2. Oh, that's easy. Let's change the color to yellow. This 2, well, we can match it up with any other 2. Doesn't matter which one. So we'll pick any of the 2 and match them up and change the color. How about this 2 here? Well, doesn't matter. We'll match it up. We can match this 2 with anything that has not been matched before. So we can pick, that 2 is fine. And hey, guess what? With the remaining ones, we have one more 2 that can also be matched to the other side, which is this one here. Can we match anything else? Nope, cannot, because 16, every prime factor of 16 is already matched with prime factors of 48. Okay, well that's pretty interesting because the GCF, or the greatest common factor of 16 and 48, is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, because we multiply all the yellow bubbles together, and guess what? That turns out to be 16 itself. That's really hardly surprising, because 48 is actually 3 times 16. So that's why the greatest common factor of 16 and 48 is 16. Now we can go ahead and try to figure out what is the LCM, or the least common factor between these two numbers. Remember our little trick of how to figure out the least common factor? The LCM of 16 and 48, we can calculate it based on 16 times 48 divided by the greatest common factor between these two numbers. We have just calculated that the greatest common factor of 16 and 48 is 16 itself, so we divide the whole number by 16. Well, that's an easy one to figure out, because the first thing we can do is to say 16 times 48 is the same as 48 times 16. This is because of the let's see, let me try to remember. This is the commutative law of multiplication. We can switch the order without changing the result. And in this case, we can either perform the multiplication first, or we can perform the division first. And this is called the associative law, because we can change the order of the evaluation. So we choose to perform the division first. 16 divided by 16. Oh, that's easy. That's just 1. So 48 times 1 is just 48 itself. And so we have just shown that the LCM, or the least common multiple of 16 and 48, is 48. And this is a very special case, because in this particular case, the GCF between these two numbers is one of the two numbers, and then the LCM of these two numbers is actually the other number. And that's because one number is a factor of the other one. 16 is a factor of 48, and that gives us these special properties of the GCF being one of the two numbers, and LCM is the bigger number.